Morning, guys. How you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. It's getting kind of chilly now. About 55 right now, but it's early in the morning. I'm starting to get better now with my feeling of being overwhelmed. I've cleared out a lot of the stuff that I've accumulated and started to fix. I think I only have about 4 or 5 things left to do. I got to get this one going because it bothers me that the tractor's just sitting here, you know? It's a decent tractor. This is my Noah Syndergaard tractor, the one that I made from 2 of these Cub Cadets. It's got the Kohler 13 horsepower horizontal shaft. Actually has the drive shaft that goes to the garden tractor transmission. This is a gear shift one. And it was running okay for a while, but then one day I was just dragging this trailer around and just wouldn't start and wouldn't stay running, and it was running really rough, you know, and I felt like it wasn't really getting any fuel. I suspect it's the fuel pump. This fuel pump is a mechanical fuel pump, the kind that is mounted onto the engine block that has one of those claw things that goes inside the engine. The cam shaft moves it and clicks it to create the pulse to suck the fuel from the back to the carburetor. Maybe that's not working, you know? So I'm going to triage this right now and figure out why. Unfortunately, I have to do it in the field because I don't think it'll run. But let me try anyway. So far I have that 21 horsepower Briggs engine that I need to do the rings on. I'm not looking forward to that because it'll be the 3rd time I'm taking that engine apart. As you know, it runs fine after I rebuilt it, but it smokes a lot, and I never changed the rings on it. And as you recall from the video, I actually compressed the rings with my fingers and shoved in the piston. People tell me that if you can compress it with your fingers, get it in there, the rings are probably bad, which is the cause of all the smoke. So on eBay, I bought a piston with the rings on it off a 21 horsepower Briggs Intech engine. I got it for 20 bucks. So I was willing to spend 20 bucks to see if that was the issue. So that's that. I have a home light leaf blower that I got from Larry. I don't really want to work on that either, but it needs to be done, you know. I have a pull-on tractor that doesn't have an engine yet, and it's missing a bunch of parts, so that's another tractor rebuild. Not looking really forward to that either, you know. And there's some loose ends here and there. But I need to get this one going, you know, that would be a load off of me. And we'll see if this will be the first time I'm working on a mechanical fuel pump, if that's the issue, you know. So I'm going to get on here and see if it starts. And of course, it's wet. Can't sit on it, but I'll put the brake on. Choke, throttle. I'm surprised it just started like that. Yeah, I don't know. What I did last time to get it to run, I put an old Tecumseh lawnmower gas tank here to have it gravity fed, but I think I put it on wrong. I have it going right into the fuel pump. Well, if there's no if it doesn't lead to the carburetor, it's not going to work, right? So here's the view of the right side of the front engine bay. That there is the mechanical fuel pump, right? This end here is the part that attaches to this part over here, This is the fuel line coming from the back of the tractor. That's where the gas tank is. So gas is sucked into here, right? The pulse is there. It's supposed to suck gas into here. It comes out in there and pushes the gas through the engine to the other side. Not this. This is actually the breather, right? And that line that goes inside the engine goes right to the carburetor. So I disconnected that hose and I put this hose right onto the carburetor, okay? This is the input of gas right into the carburetor. And I have it onto a makeshift Tecumseh gas tank from a lawnmower. So I have gas gravity fed directly into the carburetor, and we'll see if it runs well. If it runs well, we know that it's the fuel pump that's not sucking enough fuel from the back of the tractor to the engine. And then I'll know that I'll need to get a new fuel pump, because the fuel pump is made with, you know, diaphragms and stuff like that to give it a pulse from the crankcase pressure vacuum. So I mean, you know, that those fuel pumps do go, you know what I'm saying? But look, we're gonna have gas gravity fed right into the carburetor, so it should be getting plenty of gas, and we'll see if it works. I'm choking it. Idle, guys. It's running like a champ. Now we know that if this thing is gravity fed, it runs great. So the issue is getting the fuel from the back of the tank into the carburetor, and that is facilitated by the fuel pump. So the fuel pump's probably bad. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get this to the garage the way it is right now. And then I'm going to take the fuel pump off, take the fuel pump apart, and see what's wrong with that fuel pump. So I got a shorter fuel line, connected it onto that thing, and just holding it in place. Hopefully it'll get enough gas for me to get to the garage. Gonna have to do a U-turn there. Not enough gas. Come on, man. I just want to make it there. So I got the tractor into my garage and I've removed the right side pod panel. So I have access the engine and the fuel pump. So it's looks like 2 3/8 bolts that hold this apparatus right onto the side of the engine. Disconnect this fuel line here. Then we could take this apart and just take a look, you know. You know, it looks to be in good shape, you know. I can feel that the side gaskets over here, they feel okay. It just doesn't seem to be getting any good pulse, you know what I mean? So I think it's a combination of the fuel pump not working and also the carburetor may still be kind of funky, you know what I'm saying? But because it runs well when it's on 3/4 choke. So once you put it to run, it wants to stall. So I think the carburetor needs attention, and also this fuel pump is, I mean, when it was running at full throttle like that, right? Put my finger here and I could barely feel any pulse at all. So this is supposed to be good pulse, like a good vacuum line where it, you know, you feel some good sucking action, so that's actually sucking fuel through this area. So I think maybe the diaphragms are bad, but you know what? I'm going to remove that thing right now. So this part right here was a pain because this fuel line that goes through the engine to the other side of the carburetor is like a brake line. It's steel, right? And so the distance between this, because you can't flex it or anything, is metal, right? So the distance between this and this nozzle was like non-existent. So the only way to get the hose out was to break the hose, you know? And it's in like a million pieces right now to get it released from there. And so I just took two, here it is, I'm going to take it out. I think it was 3/8. Well, I know that the gasket is Dunsky. Man, oh man, look at that. So you see, this is the part that, and you have to be really careful with this area here because the engine block is right in there. You know, the innards of the engine is in there, so you don't want to get like crap in there. And I would assume that the gasket is super important for this. You know, kind of surprised it's the. Oh well, it's a small hole, so that'd be all right. Actually, that doesn't feel too bad, but you know, it looks pretty thick. Because look, it looks like it's all there here, and it looks like it's all there there. So it's a very thick gasket, you know. So I don't know if I'm gonna, you know, try to fix this. I guess I'll take it apart just to see, you know. But I don't think these things are very expensive. Maybe 20 bucks. Which I guess is more expensive than the conventional type fuel pumps. I'm going to brush this off a little and then take the screws out. So once I took these 4 screws out of here, it
it felt like it was compressed from the screws. So once I released it, all this fuel's poured out from inside. So it's definitely spring-loaded. That's pretty yucky. Actually, it feels pretty rubbery, you know? Uh-huh. Look at that. See? Look. The cam pushes this, and that creates the pump. You know what? There's a lot of Earl in here. A lot. It's all oily in here. Is that supposed to happen? Is that supposed to have a lot of Earl there? Oh, I guess so, because look. This is into the inside of the engine. Look at this. The mechanical part of this, there's a dent in there from overuse. See? So this can definitely create lack of pulse because this thing is dented in there, you know, from overuse. So it's worn. See that? That could definitely contribute to it not working right. And I don't really know enough about this stuff to see whether or not this can be fixed or not. But I mean, just by looking, this rubber stuff feels pretty good. I mean, this looks yucky, right? This plate here seems yucky, but honestly, mechanically, it feels okay. You know, I'm thinking if it's caused by this being depressed and worn down, right? This area here, if it's that, you could technically just, you know, bend this part that way more, right, to give it a little bit more area. So if it hits it like that, it would create more of a pulse, you know. So I bet you it's just going like this, you know, mini pulses like that. When in reality it should be bigger pulses like that to pump better, you know what I mean. So if you have bigger pulses like this, it'll create more of a suction, you know, instead of just that. You guys following what I'm saying? I'm sure you are. So I'm gonna go price this out and see how much it is, because honestly, I don't want to fix this because I don't really know if it can be fixed. I don't know too much about this stuff either, you know. But I mean, this actually seemed like an okay in out. See the thing here? It says I guess this is the flow of the fuel, right? The intake of the fuel. So it was like this. Or, no, it's not like that. It's like this. It goes in like that. It goes on like this. That's what it is. It's interesting. Alright, well, I'm gonna go and do a trade with my friend 5-Speed Ash over in Lindenhurst. So just for the hell of it, I blew into the fuel line that goes to the back of the tank, right? And kept on blowing it because I wanted to clear it if there was any obstructions preventing gas from coming out. I wanted to see if there was any obstructions. So I just blew into it with my mouth. And then it felt like I was building pressure into the gas tank, and then once I moved away from it, it just shot out gas, you know? So I'm now thinking maybe the gas cap isn't venting, right? If the gas cap is not venting, it would create that kind of a seal in there that if I blew air in there, it's not exiting through the vent, so it's building pressure and it pushes the fuel back out again. And it's continuously coming out. See what I'm saying? So this is going to fill up pretty soon. Maybe I should loosen the gas cap and see, but I can't walk away because I'm holding this. I just blew into this gas cap. You can see the hole here, the other end. It's good. There's air that goes through it, you know, so that's not it. But I clamped it off over there anyway. Thought you'd like to see the cam.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Hey guys, support my channel. Buy a sticker. Also follow me on Instagram at Mowers Blowers. Check out my website, mowersblowers.com. See you guys on my next project. Have a great day. Hey guys, Boba and I want to thank you for all the support of Mowers and Blowers. If you'd like, make a short video clip like these, and I'll put it as an outro in my future videos.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.